Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SUNY Plattsburgh's School of Business and Economics academic breakout session. I'm Jess Fish, Associate Director of Admissions, and I will be your moderator for today's 45-minute session. I am joined today by faculty, administrators, and a currently enrolled student representing every single major within the School of Business and Economics. For the first half of today's session, we're going to get to know them a little bit better, giving them a chance to introduce themselves, share more about their programs, what makes those programs stand out, and talk a little bit more about SBE curriculum and internship opportunities. The second half of today's session is going to be focused on a fully interactive live Q&A session featuring your questions. To participate, all you have to do is simply type your questions into the chat feature in the webinar, and we will go ahead and answer those questions either in the chat or live on screen. We really want today to be as interactive as possible. So to focus on that and in the spirit of that, we want to start off with an icebreaker. So using the chat feature, I'm going to ask everybody at home, as well as all of our panelists today, to type into the chat feature the major that you represent or the major you're interested in as a student, as well as what your favorite TV show is that you're binging right now. We all have one. While everyone types, I just want to give a reminder that if at any time you're having difficulty seeing or hearing us today, let us know using the chat feature and we will work to remedy that as soon as we possibly can. So I'd like to go ahead and get started and invite our SBE representatives to introduce themselves and share more about the majors they represent.
I don't represent a major, but I guess you'd like for me to start. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Rowena Ortiz-Walters, and I'm the Dean of the School of Business and Economics. And in these next 45 minutes, we hope we're able to paint a picture for you of what it is like to be a student here at SUNY Plattsburgh. And the reason I talk about a picture is because I think that that will help to resonate with you as well as stay with you as you move on to explore different schools. It's really kind of the feeling that you get from being here. And there are many things I can tell you that are extraordinary and that you would love about the School of Business. I'm just going to touch on quickly 3 of them. First of all, our high quality academic programs. I'm sure you've heard of AACSB accreditation. If you haven't, that's certainly a symbol of excellence that you should be looking at for schools. And we are also accredited by ACFA for our hospitality management program. Our student body is also another part that I certainly love, and I know the faculty love. 15% of our student body is international students, and another 20% are underrepresented background, African American, Hispanic American, Native American, Asian. And so what this really does for you is that it really provides you to exposure to diverse ideas and ways of thinking and experiences that are going to really help you grow as a future business leader. And finally, our culture, those values that we are here to, that the things and ways in which we behave and support each other. Our faculty certainly strive to be collegial, very inclusive, and work very, very tirelessly, I can tell you, to ensure student success. Trust me when I tell you that this is exactly the type of environment that you want to be learning in. But for now, I'll turn it over to the rest of the team members to help fill in the details of the picture with further information. And I'm so grateful that you've joined us today. I will turn it over to Dr. Brian Luther, our Associate Dean.
Thank you, Rowena, and good morning, everyone. As Rowena mentioned, I'm the Associate Dean of the School of Business and Economics, and I'm also a Professor of Supply Chain Management in the school as well. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about a very large overview of our curriculum here in the School of Business and Economics. Students can select from one of 10 undergraduate majors within the School of Business and Economics. And within most of those majors, students will take about 15 classes of common courses within that major. Those are courses common across most of our majors. And then each major itself will have a set of its own required and elective courses. And this usually totals between 7 and 11 classes. One of the wonderful things at SUNY Plattsburgh is when you come here, each major student will be assigned a faculty member who will be their mentor, one of us that you see sitting in front of you here. And we will help guide you through your time here at SUNY Plattsburgh, all 4 years. We'll answer any questions you have and just give you the guidance that you need to be successful. And when you come to SUNY Plattsburgh, your very first semester with us, will be pre-registered for 5 classes. 3 of those will probably be in the SBE. And you'll be registered as cohorts. And that means that hopefully you'll see the same people in those 3 SBE classes throughout your first semester, taking those courses together. And our hope is that through this cohort, that this group of students will help navigate each other so that you can get through our program very, very nicely, so that you can form some study groups and create friendships here that will last a lifetime for you. In addition to choosing a major, students can elect to minor in one of our 10 SBE minors or any minor outside the School of Business and Economics. Some students may choose one of 2 of our certificate programs. One is in Human Resource Management, the other is in Healthcare Informatics. And some students may even choose to double major. And when students choose to double major, it usually requires an additional 3 to 6 classes beyond a single major. And the really neat thing is that if you plan things accordingly, you can achieve a double major without any additional expense or additional time to degree completion, something that will really set you apart as a SUNY Plattsburgh student from many other students in the hiring pool when you graduate. One last item from me is our internship program. We highly value experiential learning and service learning, and we really would like our students to have internships and co-op opportunities while they're here at SUNY Plattsburgh. Those opportunities can be a semester-based opportunity, or they can be a 6-month opportunity. Many of those are paid and some are unpaid. And most of those are taken during your normal semester here at SUNY Plattsburgh, one of your spring or fall semesters, as part of your normal class load. So an internship will not, again, increase your time to completion of your degree. And we're very lucky to have our own internship director within the School of Business and Economics who can help you find and manage those internships. That's all from me. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Gaber, who will talk a little bit more about the accounting program.
Thank you so much, Brian. This is Mohammed Gaber. I'm a faculty member in the accounting department and chairing that department as well. And with me, Dr. Jason Lee, who will be helping me answering your question at the end of the session. I would like to summarize everything in the 3 minutes allowed for me. Number one, we have 8 full-time faculty in accounting. In addition to their academic qualification, they have work experience and so many certifications. For those of you who are interested in accounting, they know the CPA, Certified Public Accountants, and the CMA, CIA, CFE, and so many others. So the work experience will work wonders, certainly when we go to classroom and lecture, so we can link the theory with practice. Job placement, we are so fortunate, even during this time of pandemic, that so many accounting firms and business organizations, they are seeking us. So I will summarize where are our students and graduates are going. You can certainly go public accounting, which is mainly you have to have a job with a CPA firm, and private accounting. And by the way, public accounting could be the Big Four that everybody knows, could be regional, could be national, could be local accounting firm. And they are all giving you the same type of experience that you would like to have to expand your horizon and to have the professional development. The private accounting, what I meant by that, to be certainly employed by a business organization. Like IBM, we have a relationship with IBM, goes back to 20 years, and they're hiring our students who are qualified, at the final end, of their semester. I will talk about the internship with IBM in a second, and then government and non-for-profit organization. And that goes from federal government, federal agencies, and state governments and local governments. All they need accountants. Then we have a wonderful internship program. As Brian mentioned, we have certainly a director of the internship and career placement, and they help us tremendously. In accounting, we have two unique and major internship and co-op. One is the internship in the tax season. And this is a very powerful internship and might be the one that will give you certainly a job after graduation. And it's done here locally, and you will get some training and you will be able to file electronically the tax returns for the tri-county community here around us. And then the IBM co-op, which is mainly a 6-month co-op, is a well-paid, and certainly you have to leave campus. You can take some courses while you are at IBM, and it will be an amazing experience. Hopefully, when you return back to finish your degree, you will have a job offer in hand. So now I come to the relationship with the alumni. We have a very strong relationship and founded in so many, many years. And the alumni will help us also in placing our students. We have a state-of-the-art accounting lab, and certainly the chair of economics and finance department will talk about Bloomberg after me. And the accounting lab has all kinds of packages that anybody will be interested in doing. And in some advanced accounting courses, we use the data analytics pieces like robotic process automation, like artificial intelligence, like Power BI, Alteryx, and Tableau. So final piece, we have a 5-year program, which is a bachelor degree and a master degree. The bachelor degree in accountancy and a master degree in data analytics. And you can apply to the 5-year program when you come to us. Thank you, and I will turn it to Dr. Christopherson, who is the chair of economics and finance.
Thank you, Mohammed. Welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I've been chair of the economics and finance department for about 17 years, moved here in 1990 and have been here since, teaching economics and finance. So many of our students double major in economics and finance. You can get a minor in either area. If you're not an economics or finance major, you can still minor. We have a minor in economic and environmental sustainability, if that's of interest to you as well. Our economics major is STEM designated, so that's an important thing to international students, that they could stay in the country 3 years after graduating and do practical training in the area of economics before having to return home. We have a couple trips that Dr. Gaber alluded to a little bit. He and I have been taking students to New York City and Boston for about 30 years. We go to Boston every fall and visit alums in Boston. We have a networking event on Thursday night. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday trip each fall semester. And we take the dean with us when she can join us. And we network with alums for a couple hours. We have dinner, and we have the students ask the alums about how they got started in Boston, what they've been doing, how to get their feet wet, how to get interviews, how to get jobs, promoted, etc. Same thing in New York City. We have even a bigger network in New York City, and each April we take, for the past 30 years, we've been taking students there. We visited the floor of the New York Stock Exchange for probably 20 years. We actually go to the floor, right on the floor, and talk to the pit brokers, the specialists, about their trading activities. Bob Skay has been working there for a long time. So we've certainly done that and visited other investment banking firms in New York City. As Dr. Gaber mentioned, our finance majors also can do IBM co-ops, and we have a couple students there right now. So as he said, it's a 6-month co-op where you take time away from school, they pay your moving expenses, and then you have to come back, finish up at least one semester at Plattsburgh, and many of those students end up getting jobs at IBM. So our most recent grad did last year, I think he started about 60,000. And one of our students that went to Boston with us started at State Street in Boston for over 75,000. So our students have done very well using those trips, using that networking event to leverage job offers. We have some clubs in the economics and finance area that I'd like to tell you about. One is the Student Managed Investment Fund. An alum gave us some money a few years ago, and our current students get to invest that. These are real dollars that they invest in stocks, bonds throughout the year to earn the highest possible return they can. So the faculty member helps them facilitate the trades, but the students are the ones that decide what stocks they're going to buy. We also have an economics club. There's an accounting and finance club. So those are great resume builders for students to join those clubs, take an active leadership role in those clubs, go on the trips with us. So great networking opportunities through clubs. We have several scholarships that we award to students every year, several $1,000s. One is the Shipman Scholarship that is free tuition. So some students will benefit through scholarships every year. There's several of those. As Dr. Gaber mentioned, we have a financial trading lab. It's called the Bloomberg, actually the Connors Financial Trading Lab, where we have 4 Bloomberg terminals. So this is a great resume builder for students. You can earn a Bloomberg Market Concept certificate if you spend 8 to 10 hours in the lab earning that certificate, going through the 4 modules that you need to get the certificate, put that on your resume, as well as learning how to access that financial data. So if you've ever seen a finance type movie, you see the traders with the 2 monitors in front of them. That's what we're referring to. Those are the Bloomberg terminals that our students use every semester for coursework, as well as that trading club that we were talking about, the Student Managed Investment Fund, meets in that lab. So it's a great way to build your skills outside the classroom. We have competitions our students engage in. One is called the Adirondack Cup Challenge. They compete against 25 other campuses, colleges, universities in trading stocks and bonds. This is play money to see who can get the highest possible return. A couple of years ago, we finished 3rd in that, and it was the best performance of all the SUNY schools. There's lots of private schools that participate, but we had the best return for any of the SUNY schools. We have a very highly qualified faculty, a very international faculty. I have faculty members from Canada, Bulgaria, Romania, India, Albania, Poland. So from around the world, our faculty is very diverse and very well published. So you'll get a great experience in the classroom. So I'll be back later to answer any questions you have about economics and finance. I'd like to turn it over to Mr. John Parmalee from the Hospitality Management Program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Christopherson. Actually, I'm changing my name to Mr. Pineapple. My colleagues don't know that yet. The pineapple being the international symbol of hospitality. So thank you very much for joining us today, and welcome again. As Dean Ortiz-Walters mentioned, our program is ACFA accredited. So that means that our program keeps compliant with industry expectations, and also helps us, guide our students with assessment through their learning outcomes as we move forward with our curriculum. As all the other programs in the SBE, we certainly strongly support experiential learning. We work very closely on internship opportunities with our students, and even in these challenging times, we're having success with placement in those, making some modifications in the process. But of course, in the hospitality industry, the hands-on experience is so valuable. And we also have a field experience requirement that our students fulfill while they're a student, and we help them find opportunities for that. So by the time they're ready to finish our program, they have some experience to put on their resume, which is of course very important. I think all of our programs, and the hospitality management program especially right now, value and are focusing a lot on, 3 real important areas in education. And first to address the technology skills. And within our program, we're trying to use some new and innovative simulation software in our courses. And of course, our students are exposed to the Management Information System course, which is our cognate requirement. They enhance their skills in areas such as Excel, which of course is very important to be competitive in business today. So And in addition to that, we of course offer some specialized skills in lodging and hospitality. And we have a number of courses that focus directly on operations from a management perspective. And then we have some great elective courses that really help our students fill in some of their specialty areas of interest, for example, event management or international hospitality. And also very important, we value the human skills component. And we, in our leadership course, we focus a lot on organizational and behavioral management. We go into depth on important areas such as emotional intelligence and training and preparation for our students in that area. And we also focus a lot on diversity and equity and inclusion training in our curriculum, preparing our students to go out in a diverse workforce and be prepared for that. And certainly, very importantly, we try to really enhance our students' conceptual skills. And we try to do that using, a lot of critical thinking cases and other resources that help us solidify those critical thinking skills, which are so important always now and certainly in the future. But we also like to be a fun department too, and that's important on that list. And so what we do for fun is we have our hospitality management club. We oftentimes go to different local area attractions, such as in Lake Placid. We've journeyed to Burlington. We had tried to do some fun, engaging activities with our students because we certainly value the collegial bonding that we can build as a department with our students. And we do also go to the hotel show in New York City when possible. And in the future, we certainly plan on doing that again. We have a real focus on placement for our students as far as preparation and resume development. And we focus a lot of time and energy on interview skills and behavioral etiquette to prepare our students for competitive career opportunities. And in addition to that, I also wanted to mention that we do have a strong alumni bond, and in fact, we invite a lot of our alums in to speak to the leadership class and give them updated information from their perspective as a graduate, which I think our students really value. And again, we work diligently on our career placement with our students, especially we move forward in these competitive times. And just in closing, the hospitality industry, of course, has endured quite a challenge, and with the pandemic, of course. And so I think our challenge is to really help our students now find positions in the industry, which is going to really need bright young people like yourselves to help us guide the ship into the future. So thank you very much. I look forward to answering any other questions you might have later on. And I'd like to turn over to Dr. Laurent Josien from the chair of the marketing department.
Thank you, John, for your introduction. Good morning, attendee. I serve as the chair of the marketing and entrepreneurship department. I've been in Plattsburgh for the last 8 years, and I've been loving it very much. Let me tell you more detail about the department. We have a very diverse faculty hailing from 3 different continents and 5 different countries. I mean, we have someone from the US, from degree, which is the highest degree one can attain in their field. On average, most of our faculty have over 15 years of teaching experience, and all of them are meeting the accreditation standard from AACSB, which is the gold standard of accreditation for business school. Our average class size is below 30 students, so faculty members get to know their student and are able to help them if they are struggling. On the marketing side, we have a very active student club that has won many awards over the year. On the entrepreneurship side, we have some business plan competition. The last competition, first place prize was $1,250, and more than $5,000 was distributed to the student participating in the competition. We're running short in time, so I'll move very quickly, and I'll be looking forward to answer any of your questions during our Q&A time. And I will pass the mic to Dr. Rohit Rampal, the chair of the MISA department.
Thank you, Dr. Josiane. Hello, everyone. I am Rohit Rampal, and as was mentioned, I am the chair of the Management, Information Systems, and Analytics Department. So, we offer a bunch of programs at the undergrad level. We offer majors in management and management information systems, resource management. So that's all we have for the undergrad program. And at the graduate level, we offer, Master of Science in Data Analytics. So as you can see, our department is pretty diverse with regards to the quantity and the quality and types of courses and majors we offer. In addition to the courses, we also host the Center for Cybersecurity and Technology, which is an extremely important resource, not just for the School of Business or SUNY Plattsburgh, but also for the North Country. The Center for Cybersecurity and Technology hosts an annual North Country Cybersecurity Conference where we have attendees coming in from, all over New England and beyond. In fact, last year, I believe we had an attendee come in from California. So, it's a good way to engage in the field of technology and more specifically in cybersecurity. So, most of the organizing and management in there is handled by our students. So you get firsthand real world experience in managing a center as well as working on technology projects. So I could go on and on about how well our graduates do. They work in some of the biggest organizations in the country or in the world, and they work all over the world. And also, depending on what their interests are, some of them go on to grad school, some of them have gone on to PhD programs. So it's stop now and look forward to your questions later on, and I will pass along the mic to Dr. Kwangsi Choi, who's the chair of the Supply Chain and International Business Department.
Thank you, Roy. Hi, this is Kwangsi Choi. I'm the chair of the Department of Supply Chain Management and International Business. We have 6 faculty specialized in business, global supply chain management, and international business. We offer majors and minors in these 3 programs: business administration, global supply chain management, and international business. Well, business administration is the most popular major in business school, as you can imagine, because business degree open the door to a large number of career opportunities. Many jobs are open to graduate with business degree. Business major requires students to take foundational courses including accounting, economics, finance, marketing, management, MIS, and supply chain management, so that students can develop a broad view of business principles and practices and apply to a wide range of career in business. One particular thing that I want to emphasize today is that business major is optimized for a double major. A double major has a lot of advantages. You can have more than one area of significant knowledge, looking forward to more career options. Double major students may be looked highly by potential employers who think a double major reflects the students' excellent time management and organizational skills and more diverse knowledge. Business major students can select up to 18 elective credit, and these 18 elective credit can be counted for the second major. This significantly reduces the total number of classes to have a double major. For example, if a business major adds global supply chain management as the second major, the number of additional classes to have a double major can be only one if classes and track are selected wisely. So that's why growing number of business majors graduate with more than one major. And one of the most popular second major option is global supply chain management. Supply chain is among the fastest growing career field. Supply chain undergraduate placement rate are very high. Supply chain management degree provide excellent career opportunities in operations management, inventory management, warehousing management, procurement, quality management, transportation, and customer relationship management. Globalization, internet storefront, and stiff competition have created a strong need for innovative supply chain management more than ever before. So global supply chain management major has clear career path after graduation. We offer real life experience with a supply chain internship. Students complete internship with well-known companies, including FedEx, UPS, Fastenal, and other dominant companies in the supply chain field. International business program gives students a broad-based management education with a truly international perspective. Students take a wide range of international classes, including international accounting, finance, management, and marketing to develop international perspectives. Students are required to satisfy foreign language proficiency and are encouraged to have study abroad experience. Now I'd like to turn over to Olivia, who will share her experience as a School of Business and Economics student. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Olivia Forcino. I am a senior here at SUNY Plattsburgh, and I'm originally from Long Island, New York. I got a great question in the chat of how I started, how I decided why I chose Plattsburgh. So I wanted to answer it live. For starters, I did come visit campus. I did my research and saw that SUNY Plattsburgh is an accredited school of business, as Dr. Ortiz-Walters mentioned, the AACSB accreditation. In addition, Plattsburgh was one of the only campuses I found that offered entrepreneurship as a major. And I knew graduating high school that I wanted to major in entrepreneurship. I later, my sophomore year, added a double major as marketing. So I am now a double major in marketing and entrepreneurship. And the great thing about that is a lot of the classes double up, and I do not have to stay any longer than 4 years. I'm still on track to graduate in May of 2021. So a couple of things I just wanted to talk about were internship opportunities. As a student, I am on my second internship. My first one was at a local business in Plattsburgh, New York, where I did an entrepreneurship internship, and I learned the basis of owning your own business, and it was a great experience, and I wish I could work there all the time. I also am intern for the Dean of the School of Business, and I do some marketing for her. I work on our SBE Facebook page, which you should follow. And I'm also in charge of making the School of Business newsletter at the end of the semester. One thing I did want to mention that I didn't know coming into college that I want all of the students to know is how dedicated the faculty are to the students. It's one thing to hear it from the faculty, but as a student, I can personally vouch that everybody on here and all of the staff and faculty in the School of Business are here for you. And we are like a big family. I know just about everybody in the building. I like that class sizes are small, so you get to know your professor on a personal level, which is great. And yeah, they are here to help. Advising is great. I go to advising every semester, and they guide me to which classes to take next and ensure that I'm on the road to graduation. Also, there are a bunch of opportunities that the faculty have given me, which if you become an SBE student, that might happen to you, such as scholarship opportunities. I've been inducted into the Sigma Nu Tau Entrepreneurship Honor Society here. And I'm also a work study student here. So I keep pretty busy with the School of Business, to say the least. And finally, as a student, I also am involved in a lot of clubs, both on and off campus. As a double major, I'm still able to join clubs both in the School of Business. I was in the American Marketing Association Club. I am now on the e-board of the Women in Leadership Club. And I also do some fun things outside of the School of Business, like I'm on the Kickline team, and I'm also in the Marksmanship Club. So I definitely keep busy, and I would recommend the School of Business to absolutely anybody looking into applying to Plattsburgh. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia, and thanks to all of our panelists. We're going to head into a Q&A session now. We have around 10 minutes. So if you have any outstanding questions that you would like to ask any of the faculty or Olivia, please chat them in now and I will ask them live. We've alluded to this a little bit in some of the introductions, and we've seen some questions coming in the chat. So I'm going to direct this question to Olivia first because I'm curious to hear your answer, but then I encourage anybody else to answer for your own departments and areas. What is one unique course that you have had the opportunity to take at SUNY Plattsburgh, and can you talk a little bit about it?
Okay. So I've actually liked a lot of the School of Business courses offered, so it's hard to pick one. But there is one I'm in now, and the professor is actually here. It is Dr. Josian. I am taking Entrepreneurship Through Film. So it's a 3-hour class on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we meet, and we just sit and watch a movie, and then we get to write about business issues that are discussed in the movie. And some of the movies are really interesting. We've watched everything from the Blues Brothers to I don't even know. It's a great class. It's a lot of fun. Something totally different.
Would anyone else like to share a unique course offering in your department or majors?
A course I teach is called Money and Capital Markets, and there's no textbook for the class. I require the Wall Street Journal. So every day we get the Wall Street Journal and go over it in class. I'll lecture on concepts, but then we'll talk about the actual numbers in the Wall Street Journal. Jess, I'd like to respond to one question that was in the chat about double majors in the online accounting program in finance. The answer to that in the past would have been absolutely not. You couldn't have been in the online accounting program and do an online finance major, but that's changing now that so many of our classes are going online. So in the future it will be a yes. Right now we're kind of in that middle ground where not all of our finance classes are online, but more so than in the past.
Jess?
Yes, go ahead.
I would like to jump in and answer the question, what is the unique course, somebody loves, from the student side or the faculty side. Our courses in accounting are geared toward the profession, and there are courses within the courses. So students would love to see forensic accounting, fraud examination, and we have that within certain courses. And whenever we have certainly, place to offer a certain course that everybody we know that they like, we offer during the summer. And this summer, well, in fact, this winter, we're offering a course totally for forensic examination. And that is a very unique course, and is a blend from social sciences to accounting to mathematics and everything in one place, which is accounting. Regarding the double major in finance, as we speak, they can easily, with the online accounting majors, can do a minor in finance, because all they need is 2 additional courses in finance. And if our faculty, we can certainly speak to our faculty in finance, they offer some courses online during the summer sessions.
Thank you. So we're running up on time. So I wanted to give anyone, again, who's joining us today the opportunity to ask one last question for the group. And then I also wanted to take this time while our panelists are answering questions and our attendees are answering what they want to hear about. Is there anything you didn't get a chance to talk about in regards to your program offerings, the departments you represent, or your experience as a student that you'd like those joining us to know about today?
I think one of the things we didn't get a chance to really highlight is the facilities that we are housed in. And you know, as high school students, perhaps this is not something that, and I'm speaking obviously to students that wouldn't be coming into the online program, but for students transitioning from high school into college, that's probably not something that you necessarily think of with regard to how important the facilities are for your actual learning. So it's not just sort of, it's a nice looking building, which it actually happens to also be, and very brand new, but the kinds of facilities that we have, from the accounting lab to the MIS lab to the cybersecurity center to the Bloomberg Connors terminal to the graduate study center upstairs to the student conference center upstairs to the entrepreneurship suite. I mean, all of those spaces are important because they give you access to technology, as well as collaborative space to work with students and to meet with faculty. And so as students are taking a look at schools and making decisions about that, I hope they're also thinking about this. Actually, there are people who get paid a lot of money to consult on spaces and how the space and layout really impacts communication flow and learning and student success. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. And when I joined here in 2015, I was very pleasantly surprised at the facilities that we have and the amenities. So I think that's something definitely to highlight.
I want to use this time to talk about something related to our online accounting program. Well, you know, our online accounting program has been a very flexible program in the past few years. So our faculty actually have a very good culture to work with our students, to find the best solution for you. So many of our students, they are working during daytime, and they are working on their assignments during nighttime. So if you are thinking about online accounting program, do not hesitate to let us know. We'll be working with you to come up with the best approach to help you to become successful in this area. And we have very good culture here, and you know, you just come and talk to us.
I'd just like to piggyback on Dr. Jason Lee's comment. I think, you know, the culture, and Olivia referred to it too, is that we have an open door culture as faculty. We are always accessible and available and responsive to student needs. You know, whenever Olivia is in the building, I look forward to her stopping by and saying hello. You know, we are here for the students and because of the students, and we never lose sight of that fact. And I think culturally, SUNY Plattsburgh is very different from some of the other institutes I have worked at in the past. And I haven't been here for 30 years like Dr. Christofferson, but 13 years, I see, that we have something special, and we are, way more student oriented than some of the bigger schools around.
We are coming right up on time. There are a couple of questions in the chat that I will get to in just a moment. But for now, I'd like to thank our SBE panelists for joining us today, and Olivia for joining us today and participating in today's session, as well as, again, everyone joining from home. Thank you for being here. Wanted to let you know that we do have another round of open house information sessions, student panels, and virtual campus tours happening at 12:15. So you have about 15 minutes to make your way out of this session and into your next session. To join any of these upcoming sessions, all you have to do is return back to the main event page, which should already be loaded as a separate tab or screen in your phone or on the computer that you're using. Just find the option that best interests you, click on the link, and it will bring you right into the next webinar session. If you missed anything today within our presentation or you have additional questions, we encourage you to ask them. Feel free to email us at admissions@plattsburgh.edu and we will provide you with an answer shortly. And once again, thank you so much for participating in today's event, and we hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Take care.
Thank you. And I did add the link for the virtual tour of All-Stable Hall, which is where the SBE is housed. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.